Welcome back to the Epic Counseling Podcast. I'd like to begin with something that most of us have experienced at one time or another. Have you ever finished a conversation feeling as though you explained yourself so clearly, yet somehow the other person walked away with a completely different understanding? It happens in families, between partners, among friends, at work, even between people you generally care about. Today, I like to explore a few of the things that can help us feel understood and why understanding another person is often more complex than simply hearing the words that they say. One of the greatest assumptions to make is that communication is about speaking clearly. Of course, that matters, but perhaps understanding has much to do with listening well. Imagine two people watching the same film. Afterwards, they describe it completely differently. Neither is lying, neither was distracted. They simply noticed different things. Conversations work a bit like that as well. We're all listening through the experiences we've had, the beliefs we've developed, and the emotions we're carrying that day at that time we're having a conversation. Sometimes we respond to the words, sometimes we respond to what those words remind us of. That makes conversations wonderfully human and occasionally quite messy. Here's something I've noticed. Many people listen with good intentions, but not always with that C word again, curiosity. While the other person's speaking, we might already be preparing our reply, thinking of advice, defending ourselves, or trying to explain our own point of view. By the time it's our turn to speak, we've heard the words, but we may have missed the experience behind them. Picture this. A friend tells you, I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. One response might be, you'll be fine, everyone gets stressed. Another response might be, that sounds like it's been quite heavy for you. What's been going on? The difference isn't only in the words, it's in the invitation. One brings the conversation to an end, the other gently reopens it. There's also something else worth noticing. Feeling understood doesn't always mean someone agrees with us. Feeling understood doesn't always mean someone agrees with us. Think about that for a moment. Have you ever disagreed with someone, yet still felt respected? It does happen, because understanding isn't the same as agreement. Sometimes people can completely understand your perspective and still see the situation differently. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can offer another person is the feeling that they don't have to defend every emotion they bring into the conversation. That doesn't require special training. It often begins with just slowing down, asking one more question, allowing one more pause, being willing to say, help me understand that a little bit better. Those 5 words can change an entire conversation. Stephen Covey famously said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's a simple sentence, but not always an easy one to live by, especially when emotions are running high. It's me trying to hit a high note. As we come towards the end of today's episode, I'd like to invite you to notice something this week. The next time you're in a meaningful conversation, see if you can become just a little more curious than usual. Not because you need to solve anything, simply because curiosity often creates connection. And perhaps that's where understanding quietly begins. If today's conversation brought someone to mind, someone you care about, or someone who might find it helpful, consider sharing the episode with them. Sometimes one conversation can open a door to another. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care.